The power of thought is the very foundation upon which all wealth, prosperity, and abundance are built. Before a coin is minted, before a business is born, before a fortune is made, it first exists as an image in the mind. Thought is the invisible architect that shapes the visible world, and money responds with uncanny precision to the dominant ideas we hold. When the mind is filled with images of struggle, of not having enough, of bills and burdens, life simply echoes those pictures back. The universe is not cruel, it is obedient. It mirrors what we think with unwavering accuracy. To think money is not to be greedy, nor is it to chase after wealth with desperation. It is to align yourself with the frequency of abundance, to place your inner attention upon supply rather than lack. When you dare to think richly, when you visualize yourself as supported, provided for, and overflowing, you are setting powerful laws into motion. The subconscious mind, which governs so much of our behavior and draws circumstances into our lives, takes these thoughts as commands. It does not argue, it does not question, it simply accepts and creates. If you think continually of poverty, the subconscious builds experiences of poverty. If you think continually of wealth, the subconscious builds experiences of wealth. Imagine a magnet. It does not attract at random. It pulls to itself only what matches its force. Your mind is that magnet. If you dwell on thoughts of insufficiency, you will attract more insufficiency. But if you dwell on thoughts of plenty, if you affirm that money is always available, always moving toward you, then you create a magnetic pull that draws opportunities, ideas, and resources from every direction. The difference between those who live in lack and those who live in abundance is not luck, nor is it chance. It is the silent discipline of thought. The greatest wealth you will ever possess is the ability to think deliberately, to choose your inner images with care. Every time you catch yourself saying, "I don't have enough," stop and redirect, "I always have more than enough." Every time your mind paints pictures of debt and struggle, replace them with images of freedom, security, and overflowing accounts. You cannot think one way and leave another. The outer life is only the mirror of the inner one. So let your thoughts be rich, let them be expansive, let them be filled with possibility rather than limitation. Money is not against you. It is waiting for you to think in harmony with it. And the moment you do, the universe responds like a faithful servant, arranging people, places, and opportunities to match the pictures you have dared to hold in your mind. The spoken word is one of the greatest creative forces given to humanity. Words are not mere sounds that vanish into the air. They are living vibrations, carriers of energy that shape the invisible substance of life. Every word you speak is a seed sown into the soil of the universe, and those seeds will bear fruit according to their kind. If your words are saturated with lack, poverty, and fear, you will harvest more of the same. But if your words are rich with faith, prosperity, and abundance, you will reap a harvest of money, opportunities, and success. Thoughts alone hold great power, but they remain in the silence of the mind until they are spoken. The moment you give your thoughts sound, you send them forth as commands to the unseen. To say, "Money flows freely to me," is not simply to wish. It is to decree, to summon the creative forces of life into action. Words are law when spoken with conviction. The universe does not ignore them, it organizes itself to fulfill them. That is why it is said, "By your words you are justified, and by your words you are condemned." Your words either build the fortune you desire or reinforce the prison of lack you fear. Consider the difference between one who constantly says, "I can't afford this, money never stays with me, life is too hard," and one who declares, "I am richly supplied, money finds me wherever I go, I live in overflow." Both speak words, but their worlds are worlds apart. The first lives in scarcity because his words continually affirm it. The second lives in prosperity because her words call it forth. Words are the bridges between thought and manifestation, and whatever you continually speak becomes the condition of your life. This is not a matter of empty repetition, but of conscious declaration. Words gain power when they are charged with emotion, belief, and expectation. To recite affirmations without feeling is like speaking into the wind, nothing changes. But to declare with faith, to speak with inner conviction, is to release a vibration so strong that life must obey. When you say, "Money is drawn to me like a magnet," and you feel it as true, you have already opened the channels for supply. When you speak, "Every day I grow richer in ideas and opportunities," and you believe it, you have already set in motion the circumstances that will make it real. The spoken word also reprograms the subconscious mind, that silent partner which governs your habits, choices, and outcomes. The subconscious does not argue, it accepts whatever you repeat often enough. If you continually speak lack, your subconscious will align your life to create lack. If you continually speak wealth, your subconscious will create the pathways, the ideas, and the confidence necessary to manifest wealth. With words, you are training your inner world, and your inner world always expresses itself outwardly. Think of the spoken word as a decree from a king. A king does not beg, he does not plead, he commands. When you speak money into your life, speak as a king or queen issuing royal decrees. I declare myself prosperous. I declare that money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways. I declare that opportunities open before me now. These words are not begging. They are ruling, and the universe responds to rulership far faster than to desperation. So watch your words with care, for they are not idle. Every sentence is a blueprint, every declaration a seed. Use them wisely, use them faithfully, and use them deliberately. Let your words drip with prosperity, power, and confidence, and you will find that money cannot resist the pull of your voice. Faith is the golden key that unlocks the doors to abundance, while fear is the heavy chain that keeps them sealed. In the realm of money, nothing is more destructive than fear. Fear of not having enough, fear of losing what you have, fear of the unknown. Fear paints pictures of unpaid bills, of missed opportunities, of scarcity waiting at every corner. It is a force that paralyzes action, shrinks imagination, and builds invisible walls around prosperity. Yet standing opposite fear is faith, a force so luminous that it dissolves darkness the moment it is chosen. Faith is the assurance that supply is certain, that money flows continuously, and that every need is already provided for. Where fear contracts, faith expands. Where fear limits, faith multiplies. Every financial declaration you make carries one of these two energies. When you declare, "I don't know how I'll ever make it," you are speaking from fear, and fear commands lack to obey. But when you declare, "I am always taken care of, and money comes to me at the right time," you are speaking from faith, and faith commands supply to manifest. The energy behind your words matters more than the words themselves. You may speak affirmations, but if your heart is still tangled in fear, you weaken their power. On the other hand, a simple declaration charged with unshakable faith is like a thunderbolt. It cuts through obstacles and calls abundance into form. Faith does not require you to see the money in your hand before you believe. Faith believes first, speaks as though it is already done, and trusts that life will rearrange itself to match the vision. Fear says, "I will believe it when I see it." Faith says, "I will see it because I already believe it." Fear waits for evidence before speaking prosperity. Faith creates the evidence by declaring prosperity now. This is why those who walk by faith often appear fearless, even reckless to others. They are not blind. They are guided by an inner knowing that supply is certain, and that money is always on its way. Consider the farmer. He does not wait for the harvest before planting seeds. He plants with confidence, knowing the harvest must come in time. Declarations of prosperity are the seeds, and faith is the assurance of the harvest. If you water those seeds with faith every day, they must bear fruit. But if you smother them with fear, you poison the soil before they have a chance to grow. Faith is the life force that turns spoken words into living realities.
When you say, money flows to me freely and abundantly, fear may whisper, that's not true, look at your bank account. Faith answers, what I see now is temporary, what I declare is eternal. When you affirm, I am richly supplied, fear may shout, but the bills are due.
Faith responds, my supply comes from a higher source, and it is never late. In every financial situation, you stand at a crossroads. One path leads to fear, the other to faith. Whichever you choose determines the reality you will experience. So clothe every declaration in faith. Speak not as one begging for scraps, but as one certain of abundance. Let your words carry the calm assurance of one who knows money is already in motion, already being gathered, already on its way to your hands. Faith is not blind, it is visionary. It sees what fear cannot, and it speaks what fear dares not. And when you declare from faith, money rushes to obey, because faith is the language the universe understands. So many people unknowingly sabotage their finances by the words they speak day after day. They say things like, I can't afford that, money never stays with me, life is too expensive, or I'm always broke. These phrases may sound harmless, but they are in fact powerful declarations, and every declaration sets the law of life in motion. Each time such words are spoken, they plant seeds of lack in the fertile soil of the subconscious mind, and those seeds inevitably grow into the very conditions that were spoken. You cannot continually speak poverty and expect prosperity to come. Words are commands, and money obeys the language you use about it. The truth is, every phrase that leaves your mouth about money is either a blessing or a curse, either a key that opens doors or a lock that seals them shut. To say, I can't afford that, is not simply a description of your present condition. It is a prophecy that keeps you from affording it in the future. To say, money slips through my fingers, is to command your subconscious to make it so. The universe listens, the subconscious listens, every cell of your being listens, and all of life conspires to make your words come true. But here lies the power. You can choose new words. You can replace the language of poverty with the language of prosperity. Instead of saying, I can't afford it, declare, I choose not to spend on that right now because I have more than enough for all I truly desire. Instead of saying, I'm always broke, affirm, I am richly supplied and money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. Instead of saying, money never stays with me, proclaim, money loves to stay with me to grow and to multiply. With these shifts, you are no longer speaking against your own prosperity, you are speaking in favor of it. It may feel strange at first, even untrue, to declare wealth when your outer circumstances look like lack. But words are not about describing what is, they are about creating what will be. When you speak prosperity, you are planting new seeds in your subconscious mind. You are giving new commands to the universe, and as surely as day follows night, those seeds must sprout into new conditions, and those commands must be carried out. Think of your words as invitations. When you say, I am always provided for, you are inviting provision to show up. When you affirm, money flows to me easily, you are inviting ease into your finances. When you declare, I live in overflow, you are inviting abundance into your life. But when you complain, when you criticize, when you curse your finances, you are inviting struggle to stay at your table. Life accepts whatever invitation you send out. So let your mouth be filled with prosperity talk. Make it a daily practice to catch yourself when negative words try to slip out, and replace them immediately with declarations of abundance. Train your tongue to speak in harmony with wealth, and soon your world will reflect the language you have chosen. Every time you replace a phrase of lack with a phrase of abundance, you shift your vibration, you rewrite your story, and you align yourself with the flow of prosperity. The words you speak about money are never idle. They are creative forces, shaping tomorrow with every syllable. Speak as though wealth is already yours, and watch how quickly life moves to confirm it. Money hears your words, and it will always obey the language of prosperity. Gratitude is one of the most magnetic forces in the universe, and when it comes to attracting money, it is absolutely irresistible. Gratitude is not merely a polite thank you whispered after a blessing arrives. It is the bold declaration of appreciation spoken before the blessing even shows up. To give thanks in advance is to say to the universe, I trust you. I know my supply is already here. I know money is flowing toward me even now. Gratitude in advance is faith made visible, and faith always draws abundance. When you look at life through the lens of lack, you see what is missing, and what is missing multiplies. But when you shift your gaze toward gratitude, you see what is possible, and what is possible expands. Gratitude changes your vibration instantly. It lifts you from worry into expectancy, from fear into trust, from doubt into certainty. And money, like every form of energy, is attracted to expectancy, trust, and certainty. When you are grateful, you are saying to life, I already have more than enough. I am already blessed. I am already rich. And life must respond by giving you more reasons to be grateful. Many people make the mistake of waiting for more money before they begin to practice gratitude. They say, I'll be thankful when I get the raise, when the bills are paid, when the debt is gone. But gratitude delayed is abundance delayed. The true secret is to be thankful now, even if your wallet feels empty, even if the bills are stacked on the table. Gratitude is not about what you see with your eyes. It is about what you know with your heart. To say, thank you for the overflowing money supply in my life, when your pockets are light, is to send out a signal so strong that the universe must deliver the substance to match it. Gratitude also changes how you interact with money. When you complain about bills, you create resistance, and resistance blocks flow. But when you give thanks for the service the bill represents, the roof over your head, the electricity that lights your home, the food that nourishes your body, you align yourself with circulation rather than struggle. When you receive even a small coin or unexpected gift and you say, thank you, with joy, you tell the universe, I celebrate money. I welcome more of it into my life. And the universe, ever responsive, sends you more to celebrate. Gratitude is multiplication in disguise. Whatever you are grateful for grows. If you are grateful for the little money you have, that money multiplies. If you are grateful for opportunities, opportunities increase. If you are grateful for the flow of abundance, that flow becomes a river. Gratitude is not passive. It is a magnetic command that calls supply to your door. So let gratitude be your daily practice. Begin and end your day by thanking life for the money that is flowing, for the wealth that is increasing, for the blessings seen and unseen that are already on their way. Speak gratitude aloud until your whole being vibrates with it. Carry gratitude in your words, in your tone, in your attitude, until it becomes second nature. The more you give thanks, the more you will have to give thanks for. Gratitude is the magnet that pulls money closer, faster, and in greater measure than you can imagine. Let your gratitude be fierce, let it be bold, let it be unshakable, and you will discover that money cannot resist the one who is truly grateful. Money is not meant to sit still. It is energy, and energy must move. Just as blood must circulate through the body to keep it alive, money must circulate through life to keep it flowing. When you clutch it in fear, when you hoard it because you are afraid no more will come, you choke the very channel through which abundance flows. But when you release money with joy, when you give freely and spend with confidence, you signal to the universe that you trust the supply, and trust always brings more. The law of circulation is simple. As you give, you receive. As you release, you are replenished. As you let money flow out with love, it must return to you multiplied. Too often people block their prosperity by treating money as something to be imprisoned rather than something to be trusted. They say, I can't spend this, I must hold on to it because I may never get more. That very thought shuts the door to fresh supply, for money is like a river, it stagnates when it is dammed up, but it grows stronger, wider, and more abundant when it flows. To spend with gratitude is to keep the current alive. To give with faith is to enlarge the channels through which your abundance returns. Every act of circulation is an affirmation of trust. When you pay a bill with a thankful heart, you affirm, I am provided for and more is coming. When you give generously to others, you affirm, I live in overflow and I always have enough. When you invest in your growth, your dreams, your service to others, you affirm, I believe in circulation and I trust that this seed will return to me multiplied. Life listens. The law of circulation listens, and soon the very money you released returns to you, carrying increase. The fear of giving is born of the illusion of limitation. It whispers, what if you give and nothing comes back? What if this is all you'll ever have? But circulation destroys that illusion. Every tree knows it. The branches release fruit in season, the seeds fall, and more trees are born. Every tide knows it, the ocean releases waves and they always return. So too with money, when you release it in faith, it must return, for circulation is law. It is important to understand that circulation is not careless spending or reckless generosity. It is conscious, joyful giving and confident, grateful receiving. To give freely does not mean to throw money away. It means to let it flow where your heart knows it should go. Whether to bless others, to honor obligations, or to invest in your own higher good. And to receive freely does not mean to take with greed. It means to accept with joy, without guilt, without hesitation, knowing that you are part of the same current. The more you circulate, the more you expand your capacity to receive. Every time you let money flow through you, you make yourself a larger channel for abundance. And because life abhors a vacuum, what you release is always refilled. To say, as I give, I receive. As I circulate, I prosper. Is to align yourself with the eternal law of flow. So let money move. Let it flow through your hands with gratitude, through your heart with generosity, through your life with joy. Hold it too tightly and it slips away. Let it circulate and it multiplies. The law of circulation cannot fail, for it is the very rhythm of the universe itself. Words are powerful, thoughts are magnetic, but without action, the current of prosperity cannot fully flow. To declare, money comes to me easily and abundantly, while refusing to move when opportunities appear, is like planting seeds and never watering them. The declaration opens the door, but action is what walks you through it. Prosperity is not built on idle affirmations alone. It is built on words charged with faith, and followed by bold, inspired steps. When you declare wealth, you are setting forces in motion, attracting ideas, people, and circumstances that align with your words. But those opportunities will often arrive disguised as choices, decisions, or tasks. If you hesitate, if you let fear stop you, if you wait for perfect certainty before you move, the blessing can slip past. Money responds to those who not only speak with authority but also act with confidence. Life meets you at the level of your movement. Speak prosperity and then live as if it is already true. This does not mean reckless action, nor does it mean striving in anxiety. Aligned action is inspired action, steps taken in harmony with your declarations. If you affirm that money flows through your creativity, then act on your creative ideas. If you declare that new opportunities are coming, then position yourself to recognize and accept them. If you speak of abundance, then stop living as if you are trapped in scarcity. Buy with confidence, give with joy. Carry yourself with the dignity of one who already lives in supply. The smallest action taken in alignment with faith is far more powerful than the grandest plan born of fear. Action proves to the subconscious mind that you believe your own words. If you declare wealth but shrink from opportunities, your subconscious hears the contradiction and assumes your words are empty. But if you speak prosperity and then act boldly. Your subconscious accepts the truth of your declarations and begins to create conditions that support them. Each step you take in faith strengthens the bridge between your words and your reality. Think of a river. The spoken word releases the flow, but action directs its course. You may say, "I am open to new streams of income." But if you refuse to explore, to learn, to accept new possibilities, the stream cannot find you. You may affirm, "Money comes from expected and unexpected sources." But if you ignore the nudge to call someone, to apply, to invest, or to create, you block the channel through which the supply was meant to come. Declarations are the keys, but action turns them in the lock. True prosperity comes when your words and your actions move as one. Say it, then step into it. Declare it, then embody it. The one who walks in alignment with their own words becomes unstoppable, for the universe rushes to support consistency between what is spoken and what is done. Money flows with ease toward the one who speaks prosperity, believes it, and then moves boldly in that vibration. So let your actions be the echo of your declarations. Let your choices reflect your faith, not your fear. Let your steps show that you truly believe money is already on its way. When thought, word, and action align, abundance is inevitable. The declaration lights the fire, but aligned action keeps it burning until your life glows with the evidence of prosperity. To live now in the consciousness of money, abundance is to refuse to postpone prosperity. Too many people make the mistake of thinking wealth is somewhere in the distant future, that one day they will finally arrive at financial freedom. But abundance is not a destination. It is a state of mind, a way of living in the present moment. When you step into the awareness that you are already surrounded by supply, already connected to an infinite source, already living in overflow, you magnetize more of the same. Life does not deliver to you what you hope for tomorrow. It delivers to you what you embody today. Living in the consciousness of money, abundance means shifting from the question, "Will I have enough?" to the declaration, "I already have enough, and more is coming." It is not waiting for the bank account to show increase before you feel wealthy. It is choosing to walk, speak, and act as though abundance is your reality right now. The person who feels rich now, who acts rich now, who carries the vibration of wealth now, will see money flow in to match the inner state. The outer world always mirrors the inner one. This consciousness is not arrogance, nor is it reckless spending. It is a calm assurance, a dignified trust, a knowing that you are in partnership with an infinite supply. It is living with confidence in circulation, confidence in divine timing, confidence that opportunities, ideas, and resources are already in motion on your behalf. Instead of chasing money with desperation, you allow it to flow naturally because your inner wealth consciousness declares, "I am already provided for." When you live in this state, even small things confirm your abundance. A coin on the sidewalk becomes a reminder of overflow. A discount on a bill becomes evidence of supply. A new connection, a fresh idea, an unexpected gift, all become proof that money is always circulating towards you. The more you acknowledge these signs, the more you train your mind to see plenty rather than lack, and what you see expands. Living in abundance consciousness also frees you from envy and comparison. You no longer look at another person's prosperity and think, "Why them and not me?" Instead, you see it as proof that wealth is in circulation, that prosperity is available, that you too are part of the same infinite flow. You celebrate the wealth of others because it reflects the wealth that is possible for you. Abundance consciousness knows there is no competition, only supply without end. This way of living requires consistency. The mind may be tempted to slip back into thoughts of lack, into fears of not enough, but abundance consciousness calls you to return again and again to the truth. I live in a wealthy universe. Money flows to me now. I am already rich in spirit, and that richness manifests in form. With practice, this state becomes natural, and when it becomes natural, it becomes your lived reality. The truth is, You cannot wait for money to make you feel abundant. You must feel abundant to attract more money. You cannot wait for the evidence before you step into faith. You must live in faith so the evidence can appear. To live now in the consciousness of money, abundance is to claim your inheritance in this very moment, not in some faraway day. So breathe it in, speak it out, walk in it. Let your words, your posture, your choices, and your energy reflect the fact that you already dwell in wealth. As you live now in the consciousness of abundance, money cannot help but flow into your experience, because you have become a living magnet for prosperity.